Well, hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening. It's time to unpack those bags. Unpack those bags. Okay, what am I talking about? Good evening. Good evening. This is independent beauty consultant and marketing lead, network marketing leader, Natalie Noel-Cousins, coming to you live from Queens, New York. And I just had a session with a good customer of mine, a good client of mine, and she wanted to know more about how do minimize these bags right under your eyes. Like, it's allergy season's coming up. You may not be sleeping enough. You have different things going on with your eyes. You may have um you may be challenged with just dry eyes, right, which causes the bags to come in. So many different things can be happening, causing bags under your eyes. Of course, it could be just aging. Our eyes, our skin is sagging, so it's just it's not as tight, right? There's all these things. So one of the things, I wanted to share a couple of quick tips on what you can use to unpack those bags so you don't look like you have any, right? That's the real, how you say, that is the, I'm turning the fan, guys. I am at that age where I get hot. So right now I'm just turning the fan a little towards me and then I get cold. Okay, but anyway, anybody out there feel me? Put it in the comments. Hi, beautiful. How are you? Let me know who's watching. So when you have puffy, areas swelling, what's happening is that there are fluids gathering in the eye area, right? And it's filling up and stretching the skin, creating these bags. So you want to, you also want to do some exercises like patting. Okay, and I'm going to show you what you would pat in. There's Mary Kay has this product called Instant Puffiness Reducer. Okay, instant. Can you see that? Instant Puffiness Reducer. It's got a really thin applicator. Okay, to dispense it in the eye area. So what I did this eye, and this is what my eye looked like. Now this my eye also has makeup, but you'll see the difference in a minute. So I just put a little bit of this on here. Okay, usually it goes on your bare skin. See how little that is? That's the amount you use. You're not pasting this stuff on. More is not better, because I've tried more. It did not work out. Oh my gosh, it was absolutely a disaster when I used too much of this product, guys. This is it just, oh no. You want to use as little. Hi, good evening, beautiful. How are you? So we're just unpacking those bags, okay? We all gonna experience it at some time in our lives. Some of you are blessed that you don't have that issue. I hate you. Um, I love you. I'm just kidding. But we have that problem. So what I did was I just used the the Mary Kay Instant Puffiness Reducer. It's gonna take a few seconds to dry. In those few seconds that it's drying, you then want to not, you kind of like to have to set your face. No smiling, laughing, crying, anything, because it will sort of set in that. So you don't want to do that. Just keep it calm for about a minute. It's just a minute, okay? All of my challenged ADHD sisters, no, just a minute, 30, 60 seconds, you'll be okay. Now, on a normal, like an evening, like I would not be putting on this at night. You don't want to sleep with it. It's going to dehydrate your eyes too much. Because at night when you're sleeping, your eyes get dry because you're not blinking and lubricating it, right? So you really don't want to put this on at night. I did that too. Listen, you too can be a beauty consultant. I tend to be the kind of person, I read the first part of a sentence and I don't read the whole thing. And I just went on and I was like, why is this thing not working? And then I read it again and I took the time to read to the last part. Yeah. So anyway, yes, you too can be a beauty consultant. Okay. All right. So never mind that. So when you're not, like, that's a daytime product. I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes right now. It's something you use when you're going out for an event. You know, when I say it's a daytime product, it's not for sleeping. It's during your waking hours where your eyes are constantly being relubricated and all of that. It's not for sleeping. More is not better. Okay. But when you take off your makeup at night, you may want to consider using the Time Wise, Mary Kay Time Wise age minimize 3D eye cream. That brings extra moisture to the eye area. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know who's watching. Give me some love, baby. All right. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. It's going to hydrate the eye area. Part of what's happening is your body is trying to protect your organ, which is the eye, from becoming too dehydrated. So it's sending, fluids there and it's pooling. And you want to balance that reaction by hydrating properly, and it actually will reduce the puffiness. It's kind of counterintuitive. Our mind, that's how our body works. Okay. But anyway, so that's the treatment of the bag. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about how do you cover that up? How do you cover it up? Because, when you're young 20s and you have no bags, you have no idea how to work with that. So we got to talk about that a little bit, because us big girls, we have bags. And, even if we're using products, we still have bags. So I'm going to be showing you with my handy dandy mirror. Now, if I can do it on this side, that's perfect. So here's the trick. Here's the technique. You're going to choose a concealer that is a shade lighter than you are. This, you see how the color, this is like it kind of gives you a preview of the color. It's probably even lighter than that. This is a light bronze in the Mary Kay Perfecting Concealer. I'm not using one that matches my skin. I want one that's lighter than my skin tone. See how that is, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it underneath. When I say underneath, see that line right there? I'm going to dot it on underneath. I'm not putting it on like in the heart of it, because I don't want too much product there. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy cream color brush. Don't mind my brush, because I was just using it on the other eye. And also I need a new one. Okay, well, this is the cream color brush. And I'm going to take the flat, I'm going to flatten it out with my fingertips, spread that out. And I'm going to just sort of pat that in underneath the eye area and out away from my eyes. Why is that? Because you want the majority of the product. Okay. Now I'm going up into the corner of the eye. Okay. And as you can see, as I'm using it, it's lighter. There's a lot less product. And I'm going all the way up to the waterline where I've already put on eyeliner. Okay. And I'm just dabbing it out. Some people like to use a brush. Now, as you can see, it's already yellow. But do you see how it, right? Now I see how it's matching the other side, because I did this side already. I already did this side. Now I'm doing the other side so you can see, okay? And you start with putting the majority of the product underneath. Now I already had put that puffiness reducer, let that dry. It doesn't really like it too much, but it works really well. And you're gonna see how we just blend everything out. So now this area, it looks like there's absolutely no bags. Now you don't want to do too much smiling while you're working on your face, and just want to blend out up into this area. Blend, 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 blend. Okay. And you sort of blend it down onto the cheek, the bone, right? The cheekbone over here. So you're bringing it down. Do you see that? Okay, do you see that? And I'm looking at it. I'm making sure that I'm not missing anything. Now that's the brush. I just spread it out. I did not use a lot. You don't want to use a whole lot. Hi, beautiful. Please make a comment. Let me know who's watching so I can shout you out. Say hello. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Okay, now the next thing with that, after you've done this, okay, is you take your foundation. This is not to be done without foundation. So I did foundation. I'm just gonna just blend over it. Okay, I'm not putting a whole lot. This is just so that the color is not so stark, but it still keeps the light. Do you see that? Do you see this? Do you see how I'm just, it doesn't look as stark. You don't want to see where everything starts and stops. No, you want to, now this is just after having done my whole face. Okay. This is just like the little bit that's left in the brush. Okay. And I just re-wet the brush and I'm spreading it out. Okay. You're not putting too much. It's again, this is light. Um, because the heavier you put it, the more likely it is to crease, get into the creases, and now your face, you can tell, you can see it, right? We don't want to see it. You just want to see your face, not the crease. Okay, now I use a setting powder, which is called Silky Setting Powder, Mary Kay Silky Setting Powder in light to medium bronze. Okay, and you kind of turn it over this way, catch all the excess, and then I'm just going to swirl the brush in there, a nice fluffy brush. Now you need to have a good set of brushes. I never used to use brushes. I always used to use my fingers when I'm doing makeup. Listen, like I said, you too can be a beauty consultant. I was the one who needed all of the training. So here you see there's a little bit on there, and then I just brush that in. See that? So it's all just working together to get that color sort of even. So it looks like my skin all over. I love this. I love the silky setting powder. Now, do you see that? So you're not really seeing where it starts and stops. Now, very key. I did not go past my eye duct, my tear duct over here. I didn't go up into that part. If you go in that area with the light bronze, you might as well just do the whole eye, do the whole lid all the way up to the brow. I did not go up too far past the imaginary line connecting this eye all the way up here where it would sort of go up. I didn't go too far above that, so that I just brought light along the cheekbone. See, that's my cheekbone, along the cheekbone, just brought light along the cheekbone with that concealer. Now you see what's happening there? Okay, so I can just roll that in. Okay, and I did it all around the eye. Again, this is just to set, it's called setting your foundation, setting your concealer. Did you know you have to set your concealer as well as your foundation, especially in the eye area? The powder helps the foundation to stay out of the crease. So even though you may smile, it's not going to sit in there and then stay in that position. It's going to be lubricated enough that it's going to just kind of sit and be flat. Okay, so you want to learn, using a fluffy brush, use some sort of powder. You can use any color that you choose. It could be one that matches your skin tone, lighter than your skin tone, whatever it looks. Practice it to see what you like. It's a preference. It's really not set in stone, but the part that's set in stone, you need a powder. Okay, and then you want to set it. You want to set it. You have to. So I'm using the Mary Kay Makeup Finishing Spray by Skindinavia. It's the only one that I've ever used. So I don't know if you guys use another setting spray. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's what you love, right? It's what you love. This is the one I know. This is the one I use. So, right now I did this one earlier. So I just spray enough that it just gets in the eye area and it's gonna set. Now, if I put my eyes, you can see that there are bags still there. It's not like they go away, but in looking at it, do you see how it looks like there's nothing there, right? You see how it sort of lifts the whole area brightens it, right? Concealer should help brighten. You can use concealer to brighten or add shadow. In this case, I'm adding light or bright to a shadowy area under my eyes so that it looks like there's no shadow there. So that in a situation like this, where I'm on camera, it doesn't look like there's shadow. And finally, like right now, I'm just letting it dry. So let me turn the fan towards me. Come on, dry, 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 dry. But as you can see, you can look, see? Okay. You see how that looks? Okay. You see how that looks? I don't think, okay, I'll add details of how to reach out to me, but you can reach out to me here if you have questions. I'm okay. I'm good with that. I love teaching. I love teaching this stuff. Okay, then I'm gonna take the translucent loose powder. This is where you guys know I gotta take a white powder and put on it. Never too much of anything, just enough. This is a translucent powder, so even though it's white in its appearance or it's in its detail, it's literally disappears on my skin. It's translucent. Again, there's another fluffy brush. I swirl it around in there, right? We just swirl, tap off the excess, and then I just put it in. Now, you might say, oh my gosh, it's so white. No, it's not. It just gives me that matte finish. And I use this powder because I have oily skin. I have very oily skin. So this, it has corn silk and it has cornstarch in there. So it's soaking up the excess oil, giving me that matte finish. And now all done. You see, it's really good when you're going out in the evenings. You can make sure you put a little thicker. Again, this is putting it on after the end of my day, but normally you would put on your bare skin. Make sure you have enough product. If you need to go a little thicker, just don't let it dry too much before you go thicker, and then set with your powder. The setting with the powder is what is the pièce de résistance, right? It really helps to keep that look so you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I can see my wrinkle. No, you don't want to see the wrinkle. You want to see face, right? So what do you think? Tell me what you think. Did that make sense to you? Do you have questions? Okay, so this is the second one I did. I did the first one with my customer earlier, maybe about half an hour ago. And then this is, I just did this one with you. They pretty much match, right? I think so. And you can see I smile, right? But then it goes back. It doesn't leave the crease, okay? Having the powder helps set it. And again, if you do this, you're gonna see it. But this helps it looks lifted. It doesn't look like your eyes are drooping. And by using your eye cream on a regular basis, most people don't use eye cream. You need eye cream because your eyes are going to start drooping. And that's when you really start looking older because your eyes are drooping and it tends to droop the corners. Then it starts to get more hooded. The brows start drooping. But keeping this whole area hydrated properly will help with the bags and any potential drooping. All right. So those are the things I wanted to share with you tonight. Again, essential brushes. You may want to get a set of, these aren't really the essential brushes collection. This was the extra that came, the cream color brush, the cream color brush. It's just a little small tapered brush, right? That's right on here. It's listed. I love that. It's got a label on the brush because I wouldn't know what I'm doing. Yeah, this is the cream color brush, right? I use what Mary Kay calls the all over brush, all over, right? All over brush or all over powder brush, right? It's just a nice, these are just two versions of like a really nice puffy brush. And I didn't use a sponge. Some people use a sponge. Some people use their finger, right? I've graduated from the finger to the brush. I've never really gotten into the sponge, but some people do a really, really good job with the sponge. It all depends on what you use. The other big thing you want to blend, right? You don't want to see where this concealer starts and stops. You want it to sort of just be seamless when you look at it. It's just continuous. Even if it's gradually changes, it's continuous. It's not like a line. It's like, oh, she's got something go. No, take the time to brush. I used the foundation brush. This is the heart-shaped foundation brush. This is a special for the summer, but I just used that, right, to blend right along the edge, and not too much on it, but just really along the edge, so that it was covering foundation and concealer was starting to blend together along that edge. And then I top that off with setting powder. You want to set it, you want to set it, you want to set it while it's damp, not too wet, but while it's damp. And you don't want to put too much. You shake off the excess, you tap it off in your brush, and then you just kind of brush it over, roll it over, just lightly put in, and it's gonna just suck it on there, and it's not gonna move. And then you use your setting spray. It's not gonna move. It's gonna blend with your skin. It's gonna look like skin. It's gonna look like you naturally. And then you finally just put your translucent powder when it's dry. All right. All right. I don't see any questions or comments, but thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to share with you. My name is Natalie Noel-Cousins, independent beauty consultant, and I love you. I'm going to put my link in there. I'm going to put a little more description of what I used for this particular tutorial, the brushes and the products. Okay, and I want you to have a good night. Okay, wherever you're watching from, let me know where you're watching from. If you're East Coast, West Coast, Kentucky, New York, Tennessee, California. Okay, wherever you're watching from. Thank you for tuning in. Bye. Oh, like it, comment, share. Bye. Let's see if I can stop this now.